So then, Narayan, hi, good morning. Good to have you on
Yeah,
the
good
show.
morning.
So a lot of viewers want to know how would they benefit if they're holding BIOCON shares out of this Syngene listing. If you have done any you know numbers in terms of what kind of valuation should be ascribed to Syngene?
Yeah, see, in fact, we are believing Syngene is a kind of a unique CRO play for the Indian investors, and it's been delivering a kind of steady growth over last 3 years. CAGR, if you see earnings CAGR, it's like 35%, and last 5 years earning CAGR for Syngene, if you see, it is 42%, and it is having a kind of it is on the CRO front, they are the largest CRO out of India, and having capability both in the custom synthesis as well as the biologic services front. So that way it is the largest out of India and second largest in Asia after WuXi of China. So that way it is a kind of a unique CRO play for the Indian investors. And for next 2 years we have valued Syngene based on our FY17 earnings, and based on that we are valuing the company at 4800 crore. Which is 240 rupees. At what price? That is a kind of a lower band of the price band.
Anyway.
Yes. So this is the kind of a price we are ascribing to the continuing business model of Syngene. But apart from that, they are now talking about manufacturing of innovative molecules for the customers. So that's a kind of incremental and interesting business opportunity flowing to them. That is what will drive the growth, and even for the manufacturing business of the innovative molecules, the capital efficiency, the earning efficiency of the business will improve, and based on that it will give more value to the investors who would be subscribing to Syngene IPO.
Okay. Surya, tell us about the comparable peers for Syngene.
See,
Indian and global, and who would you compare it to on a PE basis?
See, in fact, in our valuation we have compared with WuXi only. Why? Because if you see the service capability front, then Indian players are having obviously capability on the chemistry synthesis front, but on the biologic services front, it is the kind of the unique name out of India. So that is why we are comparing Syngene with WuXi Pharmatech of China.
Pharmatech is an Asian-based clinical research organization.
Correct.
Just for the benefit of our viewers, and it's a Chinese company. It's not an Indian company. So you wouldn't compare it, or it wouldn't be an apples-to-apples comparison with any Indian listed company?
No. So that is, it is right to compare with the WuXi Pharmatech only, though the size of the WuXi Pharmatech is like 5 times larger than Syngene as of now. And but if you see the earnings parameters, then the Syngene's profile is much better. The earning profile would be much better in terms of the margins, in terms of the return ratios. It would be much better compared to WuXi. Syngene's margin would be somewhere in the range of 30 to 33%, whereas margin of WuXi Pharmatech is 20%, and the ROE, ROC also, if you see, Syngene's ROE would be 20% and ROC would be 23%.
So is it a fair valuation at 240 rupees? Would you tell your clients to possibly look to invest into the IPO at between 240 to 250?
See, yeah, of course, at this current price point, we are just, it is factoring the kind of a current business potentials for over next 2 years. But I think the business diversification into manufacturing towards the innovative manufacturing of innovative molecules, that will really improve the capital efficiency and the earning efficiency of the company, which should be considered for subscribing to this IPO.
Okay, let's talk about the rest of the sector then, Surya. What's your call on what's happened in the sector? We've seen stocks like Dr. Reddy's do extremely well or back to all-time highs. Sun Pharma is recovering from the recent correction. What are your top picks in the sector?
See, at this moment, rather than top picks, I would say, we are negative on the large names like Sun and Lupin.
Okay.
Based on the various concerns. See, Sun Pharma, it's been the key concern around Sun Pharma is that facility issues only, and the recent appreciation what we have seen in last couple of weeks times after the result, from 800 odd levels to 900 odd levels, it is largely led by the hope built into the anticipated quarterly numbers which is coming possibly next month. So I think there are, the facility issues what the management talked about in the last quarter and in the previous quarter, last to last quarter rather. So in both the quarter they though talked about like a quarter specific issue, but it was not a quarter specific issue.
Okay.
I think that kind of problem will persist for a few more quarters, and that is one. And secondly, even the integration of Ranbaxy is a kind of earning dilutive only in the visible future.
Okay.
So that is the two reasons on which we are giving a kind of a negative call on Sun. We are maintaining our sell call on that. And similarly, Lupin, if you see the recent appreciation, despite relatively moderated earnings growth in the recent quarters, it is largely led by facts beyond fundamentals.
Okay.
See, basically, last month Lupin's inclusion in the MSCI, then enhancement of the FI limit from 33 to 49%, then inclusion of that in Sensex, all those factors really has helped the Lupin to really re-rate. Otherwise, we are anticipating a kind of a 20% decline kind of earnings decline in the upcoming quarter number.
Sure.
And they will be seeing a kind of the US pipeline also, if you see, for which was the key reason for the re-rating happening for Lupin over last 1.5 year, that if you see, it is to some extent weakening compared to last year base.
Okay. Just before we let you go, Surya, there were 39 new drugs that were added to the price control list, and there was Lupin, Zydus Cadila, as well as Ipca Labs that had 3 products added. Any analysis you've done? Quick take.
See, in fact, these are the like very common kind of products, and would not have any meaningful contributions to any of these names what you talked about. So I think this price, this NPP news flow, what you have seen, will not have any meaningful kind of implications to any of the names what you talked about recently.
Okay.
All right.